I'd like to state for the record I love anime, but I've seen a fair amount of non-hentai anime I wouldn't want to watch in front of the police. But I will go into this with an open mind. Special thanks to that anime snob for tossing me this link.
We once again have another case of fucking anime being considered child porn.
I rest my case.
Instead, this one comes from our friends down in Australia.
Blah blah blah, insert GTA Walmart joke.
Very much since entertainment has existed, with the stupidest of the idiots of society just moving from different media to blame for everything. This is the same breed of idiots that were saying that comic books, D&D, rock music, rap music, video games, violent movies, etc. turn you into a violent person or into a devil worshipper or whatever you want to imagine.
Now I want to cue in the audience here. The narrator is going to try super hard to be your friend, your amigo, at least your brother in arms, and bring up various headaches we as consumers have had to lump throughout the years, and no doubt we have experience with some of, if not all of these hiccups.
Off the bat that this guy that got charged with the kiddie porn this time, he actually deserved it, unlike the past couple of guys here in the US.
Waiting for it.
In addition to the anime images, this guy had actual child porn as well.
You, my friend, are already swimming upstream. You're making a case from a point of weakness. If you had any common sense on how propaganda works, you would have skipped right over this topic the moment you found an otaku who had CP and anime together.
Quote, he was charged with an aggravated offense of possessing child pornography related to the images of actual children, as well as a non-aggravated charge in relation to the anime images.
That, my friend, is a fact of law, and I'm going to state this very clearly again for the audience. The narrator acknowledged the individual who was charged legally with animated images. He knows they're illegal. We know they're illegal. We don't know what those were, but knowing that got someone charged, I'm not in a rush to go look at those.
Now once again, this guy totally deserves to be arrested and charged. But that extra charge for the anime images, that doesn't sit well with me.
Again, I need you, the audience, to make a note here. So far, so good. Besides making an argument from a place of weakness, Raging Golden Eagle has done nothing wrong. He stated what was law and said he didn't like it. Fair is fair.
And I'm of course going to be using our friends in the gay rights movements to make a lot of my points, or pretty much all of them actually.
And I'm sure they're going to be thrilled you're doing that.
So you guys know how the gay rights activists rightly used the what two consenting adults do in the privacy of their own home is no one else's business line?
And you're aware that remark has no legal influence whatsoever. I myself am from Illinois, and we still have anti-sodomy laws on the books. Now, I'm not passing judgment, just keeping you and the audience in the loop. To not use activists' groups' stances as something of legal merit. Trust me, we will get there.
Well, I think it's time we band together and do something similar.
I wasn't aware there was a we. We made a fairly big assumption that the audience all rose up as one to help gay rights activists. You're also assuming that those following that political agenda want anything to do with this one.
What one consenting adult does with fictional hand-drawn or CG images that didn't harm anyone or anything in the privacy of his own home is no one else's business.
And here we are. What, you're offended in your own personal opinion that is very clearly not legal or has anything to do with gay rights? And you're trying very hard to muddy those waters.
You know how the gay rights activists rightly just called ignorant people out on their ignorance?
Not really. You're assuming that your audience is entirely politically active. I would have used an example here. I would have normally given you the benefit of the doubt, but you seem to be heading in the direction of trying to legalize child porn, which, as you said yourself for the purpose of this case, is illegal. I'd feel more comfy if you gave an example.
When they claim that their disgust in what other people do consensually in the privacy of their own home is reason enough to have it banned, well, the same thing applies here.
And I'd like to cue in the entire audience that the Raging Eagle just made a leap so big, Evel Knievel wouldn't have even tried. It's widely accepted today that gay people are no longer considered some kind of mental defect. Ahem. The American Psychiatric Association, the APA, has included pedophilia in its diagnostic statistical manual of mental defects since 1968. From the website WebMD, again the link is in the description.
Just because you find something disgusting doesn't give you the right to stop anyone else from doing it as long as it doesn't hurt anyone.
Well, actually the law does. That law stated at the very start of the video, which you failed to properly cite, either by negligence or intent, you said the man was charged. That totally gives you the right to judge him as a criminal. And I don't mean religiously or morally. Oh no, sir. I have the legal right to judge this person.
And if you think it does, then please kindly go remove yourself from society in whatever way you prefer.
And there you have it, kids. You can be part of this society if you agree with me. Pay attention. The Raging Eagle will spend much of the video guilt-tripping you, bullying you, and imposing himself all over the audience. I don't agree with you, sir. I don't think that makes me homophobic, if that's what you're ever so delicately trying to spin the narrative towards. See kids, it would be super easy to call the Raging Golden Eagle an SJW, but that's a lazy catch-all term. It implies that there are legions and legions of assholes that agree with this guy, and they're all on the same page. If you're gay and this man offends you, for fuck's sake, speak up. You and those before you have had to fight very hard to get where you are now. You deserve it. Don't let someone else cheapen what you have by trying to spin the narrative that gays and homosexuals have a lot of similarities with pedophiles.
Because you are the problem, and the world would be a much better place without you trying to force your subjective morals on everybody else.
How about legal morals? And the fact that you said the sentence without any sense of irony whatsoever, clearly showing we're dealing with a special snowflake.
You know how the gay rights activist correctly pointed out that you don't get to choose who or what you're attracted to?
Again, WebMD suggests if you have feelings for a child, even if you've never acted upon them, you should get help with a sexual therapist. As a point of reference, I'm not rattling off my opinion or citing a wiki page. They have at least 4 doctors on the website. As follows: Michael W. Smith, MD, MBA, CPT. He has been with WebMD since 1911 and is in charge of the medical team and is responsible for upholding the accuracy and credibility of WebMD's health information. Brunilda Nazario, MD, BC, ADM, is the lead medical editor on the site and has been with the site since 2002. If I botch any of these names, I do apologize. Hansa Bargava, MD. I'm sure I blew that, and again, I do sincerely apologize. Served as an expert panelist with the First Lady Michelle Obama. And lastly, Arif Kasaboy, MD, MPH. All of these web links will be listed in the description, and you can make up your own mind if you feel WebMD is a valid source to call pedophilia a mental disorder.
Any of you haters thought that this might apply to pedophiles as well?
I'm sorry, I don't feel any kind of medical citation in here, and the only thing I see here is righteous indignation.
Record, I'm not assuming that everybody who whacks off to animated child porn is attracted to real children, and I of course am not equating pedophiles with gay people.
No, but you're trying to encourage gay people to stand up for pedophiles. Keep listening, he gets there.
See, I for one am fortunate that I just like girls with big boobs.
Oh honey, this isn't about you, stay on topic. You know what you're talking about is horribly wrong, it's why you put the distance between it and yourself.
My sympathy goes out to the people whose kinks are either a little bit on the freaky side or, flat out illegal like the pedophiles.
And there you have it. You do realize in jail the lowest form of life form is a pedophile. And it's funny, you just kept citing gay rights movements. You could have just as easily as cited NAMBLA, the North American Man-Boy Love Association. Special thanks to South Park for letting me know that's a thing. And no, we will not be having a link in the description to NAMBLA. So let me ask you, YouTube audience, this. How is it that this guy can't have pedophiles stand on their own 2 feet? I'm asking the audience to think on that one.
But either way, a lot of you guys probably haven't thought about this way, huh? You've just been too busy reacting entirely on disgust and emotion.
Over pedophilia? You do understand that in the movies, if you want to demonize someone, the easiest way to do that is make them a pedophile. You also understand that at least in the US, you can easily go after someone for slander and defamation for even saying you're a pedophile. Once again, I will leave a link in the description for the legal definition of libel. And I would like to clearly state that I am not a doctor or a lawyer, but I can give you and provide myself the resources to those better qualified than I to speak intelligently on these matters. For God's sake, son, educate yourself.
In fact, I'm willing to bet that there are probably legions of pedophiles out there among us struggling with this like a Christian struggling with being gay.
You know, for a guy who's trying really hard not to say gay rights and pedophiles aren't the same thing, you sure bring them up in the same breath an awful lot. Here, I can play that same game too. You do understand that many serial killers struggle throughout their lives because of mental defects as well. I could be far more comfortable comparing them to pedophiles, if not for the fact I would hate to have those people sue me for libel, slander, and or defamation.
And honestly, as long as they don't act on their urges and hurt a real child, I couldn't care less what they're attracted to.
And if you don't agree with the Raging Golden Eagle, you can just leave. Thankfully, your opinion isn't legally binding in the least.
But what do you think is going to happen and what they're going to resort to once society removes all their outlets?
They'll break the law and go to jail? You know the place where criminals go? Again, I'd like to turn to the audience. Do you want to see a pedophile rights parade? Do gay people want to see these people have the same rights they have? I can't make that decision for you, but I do want you to give it a good hard thought. Cause in America, at least, once a certain section of people have rights given to them, they're not easily taken away. Segregation has been gone, and it's staying gone.
If these guys can get off on the animated child porn and don't go to the real thing, I think that's a win, don't you?
You do realize you literally admitted you called it child porn. You used the term win and child porn. I think we're done. I like crazy ideas. I like personal freedom. Hell, I even like anime. If Mr. Eagle here would have made the argument we don't possess the open-minded enough nature to appreciate culture in Japan, we wouldn't be here right now. I would have likely nodded my head, but somehow, someway the idea we might lose anime suddenly made the proposition of protecting pedophiles palatable. Yes, I understand the difference between drawn and, well, non-drawn material. That's not what this guy asked. It would have been one thing if the Raging Eagle would have said Boku no Pico should be legal because example, citation. Example, citation. Example, citation. But I'm not going to do that job for him. The Golden Eagle didn't want an amendment to a law. He wanted to completely throw the law out to make his life slightly more enjoyable. Well, Mr. Eagle, good night and good luck with that.